Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township. Tonight, it's the Hamilton Cardinals and the Barrie Baycats. I'm Ben Davy, along with Julius Hern. Thank you so much for joining us again on tonight's broadcast. The Hamilton Cardinals make their first visit to Barrie for the 2024 season. They certainly appear to be a much improved ball club this year. As for the Baycats, they are hot out of the gate to start off this season, going 4 of their first 5, including a very impressive win last night in Toronto.
Yeah, and they got the bat started early. They got two runs in the first inning thanks to a home run by Adam Ott, and they got 4 more in the second. And the long ball seemed to be the key for them. I just mentioned Ott's home run, but Hayden Jaco and Ricky Phillips each also got their first home runs of the season. Josh Matlow loves when the Baycats get started offensively early. They're looking to do that again tonight.
It's Barrie Fire Services Appreciation Night here at Vintage Throne Stadium, and we've got a couple of really cool surprises that are going to happen for you on the field here this evening. To join us for all of the festivities on the field now, let's join our public address announcer, Rob Daniels.
Rob, you're up.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 23 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting Hamilton Cardinals and your Barrie Baycats. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Hamilton Cardinals, managed by Chris Piano. Batting first in center field, number 4, Brandon Nicholson. Batting second, the left fielder, number 3, Danny Berg. Batting third, the shortstop, number 5, Tyler Duncan. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 14, Luis Bernardo. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 16, Dennis DeBanning. Batting sixth at third base, number 1, Zach Marriott. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 6, Lane Renault. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 44, Tanner Rempel. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 2, Keeler Lovebridge. And pitching tonight for Hamilton, number 41, Takaki Aguchi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, make some noise. Here is the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing center field, number 9, Canis Ejo. Batting second, the second baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting third, the right fielder, number 2, Ricky Phillips. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting sixth at first base, number 20, Nolan McIbroda. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 28, Noah Hull. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Crumpton. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burks. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 44, Frank Garces. Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires for tonight's contest, calling the balls and strikes, we have Preston Hughes. At first base, Jeff Rose. And handling second and third base tonight, Mike Kinnear. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise if you are able to. Kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement on our guest for tonight's anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, singing the anthem tonight, representing Orangeville Fire Department and his reward for losing in the Baycats team fantasy football pool with a 3-14 record. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our very own shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Ready to go. Hey fans, tonight is a special night as we celebrate and recognize the tremendous efforts of our great firefighters that put their lives on the line to keep our community safe. Tonight is our Barrie Fire Appreciation Night in support of their boot drive presented by our community partner, Barrie Chrysler. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the ceremonial first pitch. Throwing out tonight's first pitch is none other than former Baycats legend, Ryan Spataro. Ryan is a 7-time IBL champion with the Barrie Baycats, winning 2 league MVPs in 2005 and 2010 and 1 playoff MVP in 2019. He is representing Barrie Fire here tonight. Ryan, it's your pitch.
Ryan Spataro, returning to the ballpark here at Vintage Throne Stadium, longtime Baycat. You heard the introduction by Rob Daniels, and what a fun night having him here at the ballpark. As for Carson Burns, bailed out by a technical glitch with the microphone. We'll try to get that working for Kendra Doyle later on tonight, but maybe, I don't know. Do we get a do-over with Carson, or is that it? Is he off the hook?
I'm hoping that we get to maybe see him or hear him sing the anthem on Saturday afternoon. I'm maybe hoping we can make that arrangement because he's going to do his fantasy football punishment at some point, right?
I got a feeling his teammates are going to hold him to this, but we'll see. Everybody kind of bailed him out there tonight. Still a fun moment. Now, Carson Burns makes 3 errors tonight at shortstop. I doubt he'll be singing the national anthem again. All in good fun as we celebrate our Barrie firefighters, the men and women here tonight, representing Barrie Fire Services, and among them Ryan Spataro throwing out the first pitch. Here's the lineup for the Hamilton Cardinals tonight. Brandon Nicholson, the former Welland Jackfish center fielder, batting first. Danny Berg, the leadoff man, bats second. Tyler Duncan, shortstop, hitting third, off to another great start this season. Luis Bernardo is the catcher in the cleanup spot. Dennis Day Banning in right field bats fifth. Batting sixth, Zach Marriott, third baseman. Bottom third of the order is Lane Renault at DH. First baseman Tanner Rempel, and second baseman Healer Leverage.
On the mound for the Baycats is Frank Garces, the big lefty from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, making his third appearance of the season, second start. And no better time than the beautiful throwback Thursday Reds. We get to see him in for the first time this year. Love to see it. And we all know Frank Garces. He's a guy that wants the ball all the time. Should expect him to have another quality start as he has his entire Baycats tenure.
Preston Hughes gives the go-ahead. He's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Jeff Rose at first and Mike Kinger handling duties at third as Frank Garces winds. First offering of the game. It's a swing and a miss. And it's a 7:41 first pitch here tonight at Vintage Throne Stadium. The lefty winds and deals. Misses outside. Count even 1-1. The 1-1. And that misses away. And Garces behind now, 2 balls and a strike.
You don't want to start behind a Brandon Nicholson, a guy that Cardinals relied on heavily last year. Is a strong leadoff hitter, and can't forget this is a playoff rematch from last year in the first round.
A high pop-up on the outfield grass, calling for it. Carson Burns makes the catch, 1 away. As we look at the defense tonight for the Baycats, behind Frank Garces.
In the field for the Baycats this evening, Malik Williams is out there in left field. Kenisi Ejo in center. Ricky Phillips back in right field. On the infield, Noah Hall at third, Carson Burns at short, Adam Ott at second, Nolan Macabroda gets the start at first with Tyler Plumpton catching Frank Garces.
This is Danny Berg, Saskatoon product, back with the Cardinals after 17 games with the club last season. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch swinging, it's on the ground. Second, loved by Adam Ott, the throw to first in time. Quickly 2 away for Frank Garces.
Shortstop number 5. Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan now the sensational 25-year-old. Off to another incredible start for the Cardinals. 6 for 17 through 4 games, hitting .353, coming off a .355 average last year.
You can't forget last season, that was an MVP season for Tyler Duncan, and I think undoubtedly deserved that award for sure in the IBL.
Just consistently among the leaders in virtually every offensive category.
Plus, he plays a dazzling defensive shortstop, I will say.
Gets it done on the field. Originally from Souk, BC, an alumni of Arkansas State. Behind in the count here, 0-2. Garces looking to finish him off here and get the Baycats off the field in the top of the first. Winds and deals. Fouled away. Duncan stays alive.
Seems like a lot of, the best Canadian baseball products seem to be coming out of British Columbia as opposed to, more Eastern Canada, Ontario, Quebec.
Seen some big names come through the IBL from the Western provinces. 0-2 again from Garces, and it's right up through the middle. First base hit of the game. Tyler Duncan is aboard.
Catcher number 14.
He was just staying on that pitch the entire at-bat. He knew exactly what pitch he wanted, and Frank Garces gave it to him. He made pretty much perfect contact, hard hit through the infield, right back up the middle. If you're Tyler Duncan, that's a great outcome.
Luis Bernardo wants a new bat. He heads back to the dugout. Garces now dealing with a man on and 2 out. Pitch incoming. And it's low, 1-0.
Bernardo, another guy the Cardinals relied on heavily last year, not only as their starting catcher, but provides a power bat, obviously hitting cleanup for a reason.
Hit weakly to third, and it skips foul. Frank Garces came on in relief of Juan Benitez here on opening night 2 Thursdays ago against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Had 10 strikeouts in that performance. Incredible. That was his first relief appearance in the IBL in his career.
1-1 pitch. Gets the called strike, and it's 1-2. Yeah, it was an interesting kind of flip-flop. We'd seen Benitez come out of the bullpen in the past, but Josh Matlow flipped Benitez and Garces in that game against the Leafs, and it ended up working out. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A strikeout brought to you by IMP North. And that will do it for the Cardinals. They strand a runner through half an inning, scoreless, at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
No score at Vintage Throne Stadium as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Canisijo, Adam Odd, Ricky Phillips due up for Barrie. Ryan Rio hitting cleanup tonight. Malik Williams in left field bats fifth. Nolan Macabrota, the first baseman, in the sixth spot. Noah Hull, Tyler Plumpton, and Carson Burns round out the order for the Baycats tonight.
On the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals, Takaki Uguchi, one of 2 Japanese imports brought in by the Cardinals this season. This guy is a crafty righty, tons of movement on his pitches, and can be known to kind of change up his arm slot on some of his breaking balls. So something to watch out for throughout this game for sure.
Interesting to see how he mixes up his pitches. Even in his warm-ups there, he was displaying a combination of sidearm and over-the-top throwing. Canisijo waggles the bat, and the first pitch is a fastball for a strike.
Go back, McDonald's. Number 1. We're still on 1. We're still in the first inning.
This first inning brought to you by McDonald's in Barrie, home of the free fries with 5 Baycat strikeouts.
Ejo 2 for 5 last night with a pair of runs scored. Off to another great start. 348 average coming into tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gucci comes set, working from the stretch with no runners on here, and Ejo fouls it away to the right side. Running over is the right fielder, Dennis Depanning, just out of his reach. And the count is 1-2.
Looked like off the bat that ball was going to slice further into, out of play, close to the Baycats bullpen, but it managed to stay in. There's not that much wind here at Vintage Throne Stadium, at least so far in this game. If there's any breeze, it's coming in from right field.
Yeah, really no wind, no humidity here tonight. It's a very cool evening. Lots of sunshine, though. And the count is 1-2.
And you couldn't ask for a better night. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, beautiful, clear evening. Temperature might drop a little bit, though, as we head through this game. A lot of fans came prepared with blankets and jackets just to be safe tonight. Otherwise, conditions pretty much perfect. 1-2 the count. Pitch to Ejo. Off speed, and it's in the dirt. Count 2-2.
That was a great take. That seemed like a pitch that could have stayed up had it not dropped as far as it did. That sinking curveball. Ejo, strong will to lay off that one.
Takaki Yaguchi, set, deals. On the ground to short. Duncan handles it easily. One away.
Let's give the defense for the Hamilton Cardinals behind Takaki Yaguchi. Danny Berg is in left field. Brandon Nicholson in center. Dennis Day Banning over there in right field. On the infield, Zach Marriott at third. Tyler Duncan made that play there at shortstop. Keeler Loveridge is the starting second baseman with Tanner Rempel at first and Luis Bernardo behind the dish.
Adam Odd, second baseman for the Baycats, a called strike. Odd with 3 runs scored in that big 11-3 win last night over the Maple Leafs. 3 RBIs, including a homer. Baycats with 3 home runs in that game. Odd swinging it out of his socks there. 0-2.
Yeah, it was his home run that kind of got the party started for the Baycats. Right after Ejo reached in the first, it was Adam Odd who put one over the wall at Christie Pitts, and from there it was 2-0 Baycats.
Swing and a miss. Beat him with a fastball, and down he goes. 2 outs for Iguchi. Here's rookie Ricky Phillips.
Number 2, Ricky Phillips.
And Phillips has certainly turned a lot of heads since joining the Baycats here in the 2024 season. The rookie off to a great start. His first career IBL home run. And he takes the first pitch a little bit inside. There's that sidearm.
Yeah, and it's not subtle at all. He really, kind of goes down there and scrapes the dirt almost.
1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen. Just early observation here, but it seems to be fairly easy to tell when he's about to go sidearm. It's right from the beginning of his delivery. You can kind of tell that that's where he's going.
Well, I'm thinking for him that it might be a righty-lefty difference. Definitely something to watch out for next time if Rio gets up here on deck.
High pop-up on the outfield grass. Backpedaling Duncan, he takes it, and that'll do it for the Baycats. 3 up, 3 down in the first. Scoreless at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Second inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Cardinals coming to bat, scoreless with the Baycats early on here on this Thursday night in Springwater Township. Dennis Day Banning,
Hitting off the second inning for
number
Hamilton.
5 hitter,
Right fielder number
leading off the
16,
second for the
Dennis Day Banning.
Cardinals. And Day Banning red hot, 3 for 4 in Hamilton's last game. That was a 8-5 loss to the London Majors, but Day Banning hitting .444 coming into today's game. Garces outside on the first offering. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
That was a fantastic pitch. Just kind of low in the zone. Kind of got Debanning off guard. And he put a good swing on it, but Garces, that two-seam movement, really working for him already.
Pulls the string on that one, and it's 1-2. 34-year-old left-hander from San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. Second stint with the Baycats. Here's his pitch. Fastball high and laying off is Debanning. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Plumpton picks it up and makes the throw to complete the strikeout.
The second inning of play is presented by JC Unlimited Contracting, Design Supplies, Build, Renovate, servicing Simcoe region.
This is Oakville's Zach Marriott, 22-year-old Cardinal rookie, off to a sensational start. Got 4 hits, 2 of them home runs, 7 RBIs in 5 games. Bats with the bases empty here in the second. Hits this one to short, and it skips up to Burns, makes the throw. Nice recovery, but the throw late. And safely aboard is Zach Marriott.
I might imagine that would be an error on Burns because he got in front of it. He knocked it down, but I believe that if he was able to come up with that cleanly, they might have been able to get him at first base, but they ended up giving Marriott a hit on that play.
That ball was coming in hot on Burns and ended up mishandling it. Made a nice recovery, but just not in time to get the speedy Marriott. So he's aboard. 1 out, and it's Lane Renault. First offering is low.
I think something we've seen already from Frank Garces is that, yeah, his movement's obviously still there, but whenever contact is made on a pitch, especially on his fastballs, it's definitely a hard hit. Something to keep an eye on throughout this game.
To third. And the ball is bobbled by Hull. And no play. Runners safe all around. That's going to be an error on the third baseman, and 2 aboard now with 1 out.
First baseman number 44.
Yeah, Noah Hull had a little bit of trouble at third base yesterday. He had a couple tough plays. Didn't have an error charge to him, but his first start in the IBL at third base yesterday, right back there today. Might be a little bit of an adjustment period for him.
Baycats played an errorless game last night in Toronto. And now a conference on the mound as Tyler Plumpton wants to come out and perhaps talk signals with Frank Garces, the umpire out there to join them.
Yeah, so this is a cross-up. The new rule in the IBL says if it's a cross-up on your signals, the umpire will go out to the mound with the catcher to discuss.
And Preston Hughes signaling for all that does not count as a mound visit. So 2 on, 1 out. Marriott at second, Renault at first. Tanner Rempel, the first baseman. Fastball for a strike. Garces comes set, kicks and fires. And a high pop-up. In the infield, Macabrota calls for it, takes it for the out. 2 away.
Second baseman
Number 9 hitter Keeler Loveridge comes to the plate now.
Marriott had a pretty decent lead over at second base on that pitch, so I wonder if he might actually test the arm of Tyler Plumpton here. He's got a fairly good walking lead. Burns has given him a lot of room.
To short, and Burns handles that. Goes the short way to second in time for the force out. Cardinals strand 2 in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score between Hamilton and Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Bottom of the second inning, still scoreless between Hamilton and Barrie. This inning is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe Region for over a decade.
Ryan Rio brought this crowd to its feet with his first home run of the season here on Saturday afternoon. He'll come to the plate for the first time tonight to face Takaki Iguchi. Malik Williams to follow, Nolan Macabroto to follow.
So notice Iguchi's warm-ups for this inning were all sidearm tosses. See how he attacks Rio here.
Yeah, you noticed he was going over the top to the lefties and sidearm to the righties. And we'll see if that's a pattern that continues through this ball game.
Other way around. Because I noticed with Phillips is a righty, so he was getting a little bit more extra angle with going sidearm. Now he's over the top against Rio. There's a sidearm right there.
And Rio lays off, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, so he's already mixing it up against Rio. The first pitch sidearm, second pitch over the top.
That one gets past the pitcher. The shortstop, throw to first, and it's in time for the out. Duncan to Rempel, one away. Here's Malik Williams, the left fielder.
Left fielder number 29, Malik Williams.
Williams with a .444 average coming into today.
Yeah, he is once again proving why he's so valuable to this Baycats team. And
swing and a miss.
remember last year, he only played 9 games in the regular season, but he hit .527, had 15 RBI. Always a guy that kind of got the offense moving.
That ball is low, 1-1. Oh, with the absence of Noel McGarry-Doyle this year, Williams' presence in the outfield and in the lineup has been so important for the Baycats. Swing and a miss.
Well, he's proven to be a bit more versatile defensively as well. Last year, we only really saw him play first base. This year, he's gotten starts in left and at third base. He's played some first base as well. Versatility is definitely something that Josh Matlow values in this team.
Gets a piece to stay alive. Count is 1-2. The Baycats got Williams back for the playoffs last year after just 9 regular season games.
Yeah, he played those 9 games, had an opportunity to go back to the Frontier League.
Well, that one's low, and the count is 2-2.
Took that opportunity. His team was eliminated in the playoffs pretty early, had the chance to come back to Barrie, contribute to their IBL Finals run.
On the ground to Tyler Duncan. Strong throw across, swipe tag, and he missed him. Williams beats it out. That'll be the first hit of the ball game for the Baycats.
First baseman number 20.
Be curious to see if they score gives Tyler Duncan an error there, and they do actually. It's an E6 on Tyler Duncan because he's got a great arm at shortstop, and I think if that throw was on the money, as we've seen him make some putouts already, I don't think Malik Williams would be on first base right now.
Well, 1 on, 1 out, and that is E6 charged to the shortstop, Tyler Duncan. Tough play, but unable to keep the first baseman on the bag with the throw. So 0-1 now the count. Macabrota and Hull on deck. And that one's down the line. It's a fair ball. And over to run and pick it up is the right fielder, fires it in, and runners now at second and third. Dave Banning's throw is cut off, so Williams holds it third. Macabrota at second. That will be the first hit of the ball game for the Baycats. Will bat with 2 in scoring position.
I was curious to see if Iguchi was going to go sidearm against Macabrota, because if you remember, on Saturday against Brantford, Macabrota hit the go-ahead home run off of Norman Coleman Goodwin, who's a sidearmer. So definitely for Macabrota, might feel comfortable with the sidearmer, but doesn't matter for him. Over the top, in the right field for a double.
Swing and a miss. Those sidearm pitches just come in tantalizingly slow. Hull was just waiting and waiting for it and couldn't connect. 0-1. This one hit to left field, down the line, and foul. Count is 0-2.
Well, if you're the Barrie Baycats dugout, you know, if you're not coming up anytime soon in the lineup, you're watching the pitcher to see if he might be tipping his pitches, because if he goes to the sidearm, you might be, you know, kind of thinking that a breaking ball might be coming, off-speed pitch might be coming. Over the top, you're probably expecting a fastball.
Foul back to the screen. Count holds 0-2. Hull hitting .375 coming into tonight. Can really throw off your footing and your timing when you're trying to guess what kind of pitch is coming. And a good mix here by Iguchi. Here's the pitch. Hard fastball. Broke his bat. It's to second. It'll bring a run in. 1-0 Baycats. Malik Williams scores the game's first run.
Well, that's a sacrifice I'm sure Noah Hall's happy to make. A broken bat for a Baycats run. Productive at bat. It's 1-0 Cats.
So Macabrota gets to third. Hull gets the RBI. 1 in for Barrie here in the second inning. And it's Tyler Plumpton, the catcher. Sidearm delivery, and it's a called strike.
Plumpton's only had a couple starts this year, but he's actually looked pretty good offensively.
That'll be an unearned run to Iguchi as the inning started with an error. That ball hit by Williams to Tyler Duncan. 0-1 is, or 1-1, excuse me, the count. 2 away in the inning. Here's the pitch, and that gets the corner for a strike. 1-2. Iguchi set. Sidearm again. And it's to third. Picked up by Marriott. Makes the throw in time for the out. So the Baycats strand a runner. They score a run and take a 1-0 lead through 2 innings. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Frank Garces out to work the third for the Barrie Baycats, and we're back to the top of the order. Brandon Nicholson, Danny Berg, and Tyler Duncan for the Hamilton Cardinals. If you're just joining us, it's Throwback Thursday. So it's the Baycats, not the Cardinals, wearing red in this ball game.
Leading off the third inning for the Cardinals, center fielder number 4.
Cardinals wearing their alternate uniform with the hammer across the front. Sleek look for the alternate jersey. Baycats expected to wear the retro red on Thursday nights through most of the season. Nicholson swings and misses, strike one.
Ben, what's your favorite alternate jersey in baseball?
MLB?
Sure.
You're talking all of baseball? I mean, you know I'm a White Sox fan, so I love the South Side. The tough-looking pinstripes, the black and white. But most of the City Connect jerseys I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we saw the Jays finally have theirs today.
Burns across, and the throw misses. Nolan Macabrota pulls him off the bag. He's got to go back and get it. Baycats commit their second error of the ball game.
Left fielder number 3, Danny Berg.
Good job on the edit.
Yeah, we saw the Blue Jays unveil their City Connect uniforms today. They were kind of leaked earlier in the week, and fans were not too happy, and I don't imagine they're any happier right now.
Yeah, I kind of like the design, but it's hard to see.
Yeah, there's very little contrast.
It looks like there needs to be a white outline around it or something like that. Anytime you do, like, blue on blue or black on blue, the Leafs did a black on blue jersey, alternate jersey once, and it didn't go over very well. Numbers were hard to see. I mean, some of the City Connect jerseys are just awful, I got to say.
Yeah.
The San Diego Padres is probably the worst of all of them, in my opinion. Boston, I was really upset about. They wore their yellow jerseys. My only trip to Fenway Park, and the Red Sox wore those yellow City Connect jerseys. It didn't even feel like we were watching the Red Sox. Utterly disappointing.
Yeah. Do you like the Mets, with the gray? I don't know if you've seen those.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, they've worn them a couple times this year. They're very much gray. The hat has a skyline outline.
Called strike, Berg. Not happy with that call. Well, that sounds a lot like the Washington Nationals with the gray.
I love the Nationals, but the cherry blossoms.
And the cherry blossoms, yeah. It's different. Runner goes, plumped in the throw. The tag is not in time. Great speed by Brandon Nicholson, always dangerous on the bases. And he's 90 feet away. Count 2-1 to Berg.
He got a great jump there at short. I don't think Garces was expecting that. He kind of kept the same delivery as he would have.
(3-1) on the way from Frank Garces. Ball 4. First walk of the game for the Cardinals. Runners on the corners, nobody out.
That's a well-disciplined take there from Danny Berg. That was just on the outside part of the plate. And call could have gone either way and goes in favor of the Cardinals.
One team that will probably never have a City Connect jersey or even an alternate jersey, I would have to think, would be the New York Yankees.
I think the Yankees are doing one later this year.
Are they really?
I think they are. I don't imagine it's going to be any different than what they have now.
I don't know how you even I mean, that's just such a classic look with
Yeah.
the NY and the pinstripes, and they've never deviated from that. The road grays, of course, with the New York lettering, but other than that,
Now, I have been a Yankee hater all my life, but I do respect the pinstripe look.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
yeah, and the fans do too, so that's the other thing you have to consider is, are the fans even going to buy those jerseys? Called strike, 1-1.
I do feel like some of the City Connect uniforms, though, are ruined by having colored pants. Like, just stick to white.
Yeah. 1-1, runner goes, swing and a miss. Plumpton throws down a third, and it hits the runner in the back, and it gets away. And Brandon Nicholson will come in to score. Rounding third is Berg, and he's going to hold up now as the throw comes in. Well, a gutsy move by Plumpton. Rather than going after Berg, he went for the runner at third as Nicholson was taking a very aggressive lead there, and the ball hit him in the back.
If I was Berg, I know he's probably listening to his third base coach, obviously, but I would have challenged Noah Hall's arm because he was going back on that ball trying to retrieve it from shallow left field, and it was so tough because you don't have any momentum to throw back home, and I would have tested the arm.
Yeah, after that ball hit Nicholson in the back, it really ended up in the worst spot possible. And with these speedsters on the bases, Baycats are awful lucky now. They're not down 2-1. Tyler Duncan now can put Hamilton on top with the swing of the bat here. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's on the ground to second. Picked up by Odd, one play, and that's the first. In time for the out. And another run across for the Cardinals. It's 2-1.
Odd almost had a little bit of trouble corralling that hop at second base there. He did kind of get in front of it with his leg, kind of going close to down on one knee there, but the ball was hit so hard.
That was all Duncan wanted to do, get that runner in from third base, and executed perfectly. So it's 2-1 Hamilton now. One out in the third inning. Luis Bernardo, the catcher, to bat. Pitch is inside, corner for a strike, 1-1.
I'm sure Garces is feeling a little bit better. Yes, he's given up 2 runs in this inning, but with nobody on, he's probably feeling a bit more comfortable on the mound right now.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Yeah, you haven't seen Frank Garces pitch trailing in a ball game a whole lot. Still very early in this one, though. Third inning, Hamilton up 2-1. Here's the pitch from Garces. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for IMP North. Bernardo chased one outside.
That's the second strikeout of the game for Bernardo. And both times he's kind of chased pitches far outside the zone from Garces. That one straight outside, almost looked like it was flirting with the other batter's boxes. The first strikeout was a nasty curveball that was low, like just almost in the dirt.
Frank Garces' other strikeout victim was this man right here, Dennis Debanning. Pitch is up and away, 1-0. Debanning had a .444 average coming into tonight prior to his second inning strikeout. 2 home runs so far this season in his 5 games. Pitch from Garces, and this one hit to right center field. It'll drop. Ejo over to pick it up, throws it in, and into second with a sliding double is Dennis Debanning.
Third baseman number 1, Zach Maria.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Debanning. Kind of went the other way with it. If you're a hitter, that's exactly where you want to put the ball in the opposite field gap. That's extra bases with 2 out.
Yeah, Ejo had a long way to go to get to that ball in right center field. By the time he got there, Debanning was already thinking double.
Yeah, almost like he perfectly split Ejo and Phillips out there in right center.
Zach Marriott 1 for 1. First pitch swinging, and he lines that over the second baseman into right field. That might bring home another run. Ball thrown in by Phillips, And it's not in time. Day Banning in to score, make it 3-1 Hamilton.
Designated hitter number 6, Lane Renault.
There's that hard contact coming back for Cardinals against Frank Garces. That's 3 in this inning already. Both the hits we've seen have been hard contact. Ball's been barreled up, and even seen that in the other couple hits earlier in this game for the Cardinals.
And how about Zach Marriott with the RBIs? 8 now in 6 games. 6 hits, including back-to-back singles here today. Lane Renault now to bat. This one hit high to Kinesijo. He's got it for the 3rd out of the inning. Hamilton scores 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 3-1 Cardinals. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Season, thought it would be cool for him to get to be a junior Baycat for the first game back.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Cardinals have a 3-1 lead over the Barrie Baycats. This 3rd inning brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
And here comes the guy who was supposed to sing our national anthem tonight, shortstop Carson Burns. Well, he did sing our national anthem, to be fair, but he got help from everybody else, and the microphone didn't work.
I was so excited to hear him sing the national anthem today. Kind of bummed out it didn't really go as planned, but I'm sure his teammates will hold him accountable to do it again.
When that microphone wasn't working, I'm not sure if Burns was relieved or feeling a little extra stress. I'm not sure. It was hard to tell from his reaction. He looked a little flustered and then just finally gave up, and everybody started singing. So.
Well, he seemed pretty cheery about it before the game, knowing he was going to do it. I remember seeing him in the dugout talking about how the process was going to go, and they did the player introductions and such.
If you're just joining us tonight, is Barrie Fire Services Appreciation Night, and Carson Burns, a firefighter with Orangeville, the Orangeville Fire Department. And this one on the ground to second. Sliding play by Leverage makes the throw in time. One out here in the 3rd inning. So Burns was selected to sing the national anthem based on his association with the fire department, but also because he lost the Baycats NFL football pool. So
you just can't go 3-14 on the season. I mean,
that's actually hard to do.
That's very hard to do.
By accident, you would think there'd be at least a couple more wins, but.
Tell you what, my fantasy baseball team is actually doing pretty good, and I haven't touched it.
So 3-14, is that like straight up picks, or is that with the line, or
you get matched up against another person in your pool?
Oh, okay.
So
it's just losses. Like 3 wins, 14 losses. Yeah. Okay. Canisijo sidearm, and it's lifted high and foul.
Yeah, my fantasy baseball team's actually doing pretty good, and I haven't even touched my lineup in like a month.
Nice.
I have Jung-Hoo Lee in my starting lineup, and he's out for the season. So that just goes to show you how hard it is to lose that bad.
You never know who's going to go down due to injury. I feel bad for anyone with Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yes, absolutely.
That's devastating for the Braves.
Twice in 3 years.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gucci's gone more over the top as of late in the last, well, in this inning and parts of last inning as well. But as soon as I say that.
Strike 3. And Canisijo with some words for the home plate umpire as he heads back to the dugout. 2 quick outs here, and Adam Odd will bat.
The second baseman, number 26, Adam Odd.
Well, when it comes to baseball fans who have a lot of injuries on their teams, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for them because you're looking at a guy here who cheers for a team that has Luis Robert, Yoan Moncada, and Eloy Jimenez perpetually injured. Those 3 just can never stay healthy.
Dylan Cease as well.
Yeah,
want to talk about pitchers?
Their best players always seem to go down or get dealt away. Although Tim Anderson and Jake Berger with Miami haven't done too well, so.
True. Yeah, I have no idea what's happened with Tim Anderson. Batting title champion, and
yeah,
kind of gone downhill since.
1-1. Odd takes it, lays off, 2 balls and a strike. Odd with a strikeout in the first inning.
Yeah, he was caught by some high fastballs in the first inning. That's what got him, went down swinging in the first.
Swing and a miss. Just 1 unearned run for the Baycats so far tonight. Great pitching by Takaki Iguchi. He's retired 4 in a row. Here's the pitch. On the ground. And past the third baseman, Zach Marriott. It's into left field. A base hit to keep the inning alive.
The right fielder.
Well, even though Adam Ott had a breakout season last year, the strikeouts were still a little bit of an issue for him. On that pitch, kind of went the other way with it there. Made great contact, kind of laid on a swing there. Gucci's got some great velocity on his fastball, but just snuck it under the glove of Zach Marriott.
So the inning continues. Ricky Phillips to bat. Out on base for the first time tonight. Phillips ahead 1-0. So you were at Christie Pitts in Toronto last night, I understand, for the Baycats 11-3 win over the Leafs. And pretty raucous crowd as usual, I understand.
Absolutely. It was a fun night, I will say.
And those fans stay right till the end, even with the score 11-3.
Yeah, when I was heading out, I was very happy to see how many people stuck it out, even in a game where the Leafs lost by 8 runs.
Thomas West calling that game for us on the Leafs YouTube channel. Doing a great job as always. It was a fun game to watch on TV. I was kind of wishing I was down there. It looked like everyone was having such a good time. 1-1 the count. Pitch incoming. Throw down. The tag, and just back in underneath is Adam Odd.
That was close. I'm not sure.
Very close.
I'm not sure if Odd thought that Bernardo's throw was even a possibility there. He got a really good secondary lead, and looked like he kind of struggled to get back to the bag a little bit.
Rempel was right there with the tag. Hit weakly back to the mound. Iguchi quickly makes the throw down in time. Baycats strand a runner. We have played 3 innings. It's Hamilton 3, Barrie 1 on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Back live at Vintage Throne Stadium, the Cardinals on top, 3-1 over the Baycats, and batting in the fourth inning for the Cardinals, Tanner Rempel, Keeler Loveridge, Brandon Nicholson. 3 runs off Frank Garces in the third inning. This one to center field, base hit. Second straight inning, the Cardinals get the leadoff man aboard. Third inning started with an error to shortstop Carson Burns, so unearned runs haunting the Baycats in the top half of that third inning.
Keeler Loveridge.
And Rempel leading off the fourth with a single. Keeler Loveridge, fielder's choice to end the second. 0 for 1, he's ahead in the count 1-0.
That Rempel hit was another example of just the hard contact the Cardinals are making off of Frank Garces. He's kind of keeping his fastballs up in the zone.
To center field, Ejo has to go to his left and back a bit, makes the catch. 1 out.
The center fielder, number 4, Brandon Nicholson.
Nicholson's aggressive base running helped get Hamilton on the board in the third inning. And he will bat here with a man on and 1 out.
Not to mention his stolen base was a key part of that inning as well, because he was able to score pretty much right after that, after stealing third base.
Nubbed off the end of the bat, picked up by the first baseman, changes his mind, the throw, the tag, not in time. Nolan Macabrota thought about going to second, and that cost him.
You can't be playing around with a guy like Brandon Nicholson coming down the first baseline, because admittedly that was a very awkward kind of pickup spot for Macabrota. Wasn't able to kind of make a play at second because Rempel had a great jump off first, and Nicholson just too fast for Macabrota to have an attempt to recover.
Situation where you really need to know the speed of the man at the plate in that case, and by the time Macabrota changed his mind, it was far too late to get back to the bag. This one foul, left side. So a mental miscue, and there's 2 on for the Cardinals with 1 out. Danny Berg at the dish. Ground ball could still get the Baycats out of this inning. Burns it short, Odd at second. Double play depth. Ball gets away from Plumpton, and the runners stay put.
Great effort there by Tyler Plumpton to get back on the ball. Didn't go too far away from him, but definitely with the guys that are on base for the Cardinals, could have been dangerous.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Garces checks the runners. They go. And a slow roller picked up by Garces. No play. Everybody is safe. That ball was placed almost like a bunt, just in that kind of dead spot about halfway between home and third.
just about to say, because that almost looked, because the runners were going, it kind of looked like a design play. Where, I know Bird can definitely get a bunt down, and I don't think that swinging bunt was intentional at all, but definitely looked like a design play right off the the delivery from Garces.
And Hamilton can cause some big noise here with the bases loaded and one out. Tyler Duncan, the shortstop, at the plate. Big at bat here. Garces, first pitch, fouled away. Baycats down by 2. After spotting themselves a big lead last night in Toronto. Find themselves on the other side of the ledger here this evening.
It was 6-0 after 2 innings for the Baycats last night.
Garces leg kick pitch and just missed outside. 1-1. Baycats stayed in command of that lead right to the end of last night's game. 11 runs, 11 hits. Really couldn't have drawn it up any better. No errors. A clean game defensively. Probably the best game of the season for the Baycats, start to finish. Fouled away, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, and they briefly had a lead in this ball game, and now they're kind of behind the ledger. With Hamilton scoring 3 in the third. A high-stress situation here for Garces, who I know does not like pitching with men on behind him.
Rempel at third, Nicholson at second, Berg at first. 1 out. Pitch on the way. Foul back. And Tyler Duncan stays alive with the count 1-2.
However, one ground ball can get the Baycats out of this inning.
You mentioned Dylan Cease. Tyler Duncan kind of has that Dylan Cease old-fashioned mustache look. Looks like something out of the 1920s.
Well, because of the kind of emergence of Paul Skeens, that's who I think of first.
True. Yeah, he wears it well. Duncan steps out, so that will count as his 1 timeout. 1-2 pitch coming up from Frank Garces. Here it comes. And it's low. Blocked by Plumpton. Runners stay put. Count now 2-2. Got a feeling like this is a big at bat right here. It's still early in this ball game, but Hamilton can really take command here with a big inning in this fourth.
Well, not to mention how crucial that block right there was from Plumpton, because if Rempel scores, that takes the double play out of possibility for the Baycats.
Here's the pitch. And he couldn't hold up. It's a strikeout for IMP North. Duncan goes down.
The catcher, number 14, Luis Bernardo.
And that is exactly what Frank Garces needed. A big strikeout. 2 down. Luis Bernardo has 2 strikeouts already tonight. Maybe not a bad guy to face in this situation here. Bases loaded. Pitch on the way and hits a pop-up. On the outfield grass is the second baseman, Adam Odd, who comes over and makes the glove catch. So the Cardinals leave the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Still lead by 2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Cardinals in the 4th.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the Baycats still trailing the Hamilton Cardinals by a score of 3-1. This inning brought to you by Clarkston Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
Takaki Iguchi has held the Baycats to 1 run on 2 hits tonight. His team in front 3-1 at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Yeah, and that run for him unearned because of the error by Tyler Duncan to start off, or at the start of the second inning, on allowing Malik Williams to reach.
Really solid outing so far. A called strike to Ryan Rio to start off the bottom of the fourth inning. Fastball, and it's lifted foul.
Rio had a hard hit ball to short his last time up, and that was actually the play before Williams reached on the error by Duncan, because Duncan was the one who threw Rio out to start off that second inning.
Pitch on the way. It's a called strike. And down goes Rio as he takes the slow walk back to the dugout. Three strikeouts for Iguchi this evening. Malik Williams, the left fielder, will come to the plate. He has the lone run for the Baycats so far tonight. Williams, first pitch swinging, fouls it away. Elsewhere tonight, Brantford is at Welland. Chatham-Kent is at Kitchener. Baycats will get their first look at the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers here at Vintage Throne Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Third game in 4 days for the Baycats. Lots of excitement in southwestern Ontario about their expansion ball club. Off to a pretty good start. Some good young talent on that team and a lot of fan interest as well.
Definitely can't be disappointed if you're in the Chatham-Kent area, because Fergie Jenkins Field is getting packed every night. And
got off to an outstanding start with their season ticket sales. Everything just going great for that team so far.
Not to mention their play on the field has been impressive, to say the least.
1-2 pitch, and Williams out in front of it. And that one caught a piece of Luis Bernardo as he's skipping around trying to shake that off. That might have hit the inside of his ankle. And he'll need a few moments as the umpire goes out to buy him some time. Manager Chris Piano to chat with his catcher, and Bernardo's going to stay in there. Nice round of applause from the appreciative fans. 1-2 the count.
Left side of the defense for Hamilton really playing Williams to pull here.
To the shortstop. Backhanded by Duncan. Takes the throw across and in time for the out. Good speed by Williams to get down there, but bang, bang play. And they get him by a half a stride. Here's Nolan Macabrola. Baycat rookie first baseman. Double in his first at bat tonight.
And a couple hits last night as well. He's been pretty hot offensively. Can't forget that go-ahead home run the last home game Saturday against Brantford. That was eventually was the game-deciding hit and a 3-2 win for the Baycats.
Yeah, that was a fun game for the fans. Our first junior Baycat game here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We'll have another one for you here on Saturday afternoon this weekend. Cardinals are home tomorrow to host the Maple Leafs. Bernie Arbor Stadium, 7:35. On Cable 14 in Hamilton, the home of Cardinals baseball. Reed Duthie, Neil Srivastava, and Troy Izikar will have that call for Hamilton viewers. Friday Night Baseball, presented by Mountain Mitsubishi. Always enjoy their broadcasts. Fouled over the screen, it's 1-2. Nolan Macabrota, the first baseman. Gucci has retired 7 of his last 8, rolling right along here tonight in this 4th inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Fouled again.
He's done it on a lot of soft contact. He's only had 3 strikeouts on his outing this evening, but saw a couple little tappers back to the mound, one from Ricky Phillips that ended the last inning, and one from Carson Burns. So a lot of ground outs in this game, so he's getting the soft contact and easy outs for his defense.
Here's the pitch. Bounces up to the plate.
That one almost looked like it hit Macabrota kind of on the foot, but I think it took that hop kind of on the edge of the batter's box.
Haven't seen Iguchi shake off Bernardo a whole lot tonight either. He seems to have a lot of confidence in his catcher. He's done a fine job calling this pitch mix here tonight. From the stretch, Iguchi delivers. Inside, and the count is 3-2. Good at bat here by Nolan Macabrota. Working the count full. Noah Hull on deck, hopeful for an at bat here in the 4th. Pitch. And a walk. Baycats get a 2-out base runner. Great job by Nolan Macabrota to battle back in the count after falling behind. And now Hull will get an at bat with 1 out, or 2 out, excuse me, and 1 on.
Well, that was the first walk of the evening from Iguchi, and this goes to show how kind of in control he's been with his pitches and forcing a lot of contact.
In control and getting ahead in the count, too. Just missed on that first offering.
And no activity in either bullpen yet, so these 2 starters have got the confidence of their managers for sure.
Iguchi misses high on that one, 2-0. Plate seems to be moving around a little on Iguchi here in this 4th inning. Runner leads. The pitch. Sidearm for a strike. 2-1. Seven of the Baycats' 9 starters got hits last night in that 11-3 win against Toronto. This one hit weakly, and it's playable. And the catch is made, and that will do it as the Baycats strand a runner in the 4th inning. Julius up to call innings 5 and 6 when we return. 3-1 Hamilton here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. The Hamilton Cardinals back up to bat. The top of the 5th inning, they lead the Baycats by a score of 3-1. I'm Julius Hern, along with Ben Davy and our Baycats TV crew. We're happy to have you on the broadcast. Frank Garces back out for a 5th inning of work. He'll face Dennis DeBanning, number 5 hitter to lead off. Ground ball to third base, Hall over to his left. Running throw over to first, pick by Macabrota. There's the first out of the inning for the Baycats.
Well, a nice job on both ends there by Hall and Macabrota. Hall had trouble on a ball earlier in the ball game at third base. Didn't have a whole lot of time with the speedy DeBanning running hard. But he gets the throw over.
Kind of sounded like DeBanning broke his bat on that play.
I think he did.
Just by the literal crack of the bat. Didn't have the hardest contact, consider how much of the bat he got on the ball. So here's Zach Marriott, who's reached base both times he's been up. Shows bunt, takes the first pitch strike. Singles in both the 2nd and 3rd innings, stranded both times. Garces looks in, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Looked like it was foul tipped in the glove of Plumpton. It's 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch from Garces. In there, but just called low by home plate umpire Preston Hughes. 1-2.
What a take there by Marriott on that 0-2 pitch. Didn't bite. Keeps the at-bat alive. This is a guy who loves to swing the bat.
Hall continues to play in at third base. Ground ball to second base. Adam on over to his left. Easy play for him. Throw to first in time. 2 ground outs for the Cardinals, 2 outs for the Baycats.
Well, it has turned into a really chilly night here at Vintage Throne Stadium. All the hoodies and blankets and jackets are on, except for you and I. You would think the broadcasters would know. Temperatures like these are possible even in late May.
First pitch to Lane Renault, swung on and missed.
There has to be a happy medium between single-digit temperatures and the mosquitoes attacking us in full force in a 25-degree humidity.
It's just the humidity, man.
We just need that happy 15 to 20 degree sort of span, right?
Exactly. 1 strike away from getting out of the 5th inning. Here it is. Just outside again. 1-2 to Lane Renault.
Of course, we had some chilly temperatures in September. The Baycats with that
did.
deep playoff drive late September. Those are the kind of chilly ball games fans love to come out to. Means your team's playing some pretty important games.
Exactly. 1-2 here. Up and in, 2-2. And not to mention when there's a little bit of a drizzle at the ballpark, that's when it really starts to get cold. And at least I from my experience, I've not had fun with those cold, rainy nights. Low and away, swung on and missed. Lane Renault strikes out. Frank Garces goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th, but the Baycats still trail the Cardinals 3-1 as we head to the bottom half. You're watching Baycats baseball on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
From 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Back at Vintage Throne Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's brought to you by Phaetrum Aluminum and Siding, quality above all else.
Tyler Plumpton is the Baycats leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They still trail the Cardinals 3-1. Julius Hern with you along with Ben Davy. Plumpton, Burns, and then back to the top of the order with Kenise Ijo against Takaki Iguchi, who his first pitch up there is high on Tyler Plumpton. Their sidearm pitch from the 0-1 is outside, 2-0.
Do you have a favorite sidearm pitcher in MLB, maybe in your years watching games and teams?
Well, I always attach myself to Aaron Loop because he was playing for the Jays when I was growing up. Plumpton shows bunt, pulls it back. It's 3-0.
Loop seemed to give up so many home runs, though.
With the Jays, he did. Once he got over to Tampa Bay and they were making those playoff runs, 2020 American League Championship, he was quite an effective pitcher for them.
Yeah, he must have made some changes after he left Toronto, because you're right, he did turn into a different pitcher.
Tyler Plumpton reaches a 4-pitch walk to start off the 5th inning for Takaki Iguchi, and that brings up Carson Burns.
Second walk of the game from Iguchi, and we noticed him starting to fall behind a little bit. Some batters in that 4th inning. He walked Nolan Macabrona. That was his first of the game, and now a 4-pitch walk to Plumpton.
He was very strong at getting ahead in counts throughout the entire outing so far. Sidearm pitch. Burns shows bunt. Takes for a ball. Zach Marriott was playing pretty far in at third base there. Tanner Rempel still holding Plumpton on at first, but was able to come in onto the grass on the delivery.
So I have two favorite sidearm pitchers, and these are names that are long before your time, but when I was a kid, I watched Mark Eichhorn of the Blue Jays.
Oh, of course.
And you seen any footage of him?
I have.
Really?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he was a true sidearmer. And then the Kansas City Royals had a closer named Dan Quisenberry.
I remember him against the Jays in '85.
Yeah.
I've watched those games.
Oh, you're really up on your history. Very impressive.
The
He was not really a sidearmer. It was almost underhand. It was like his knuckles were basically scraping the mound. I don't know how he did it.
Well, now you got guys like the Rogers brothers who play for the Giants, both sidearmers. One lefty, one righty.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can work a sidearm delivery.
Seems to be kind of a lost art, just like the knuckleball. That one's in the dirt, and another 4-pitch walk. 8 straight balls to start off the 5th inning for Takaki Iguchi, and the Baycats already have 2 men on.
So this is a Baycats lineup that's normally aggressive. They love to swing the bats, but clearly the strategy has shifted here in this 5th inning. They're making Iguchi find the strike zone, and he hasn't been able to. The first 2 batters he's faced, and now Ijo with 2 on and nobody out. Big chance for Barrie to get back in this game.
So the corner infielders playing in for the Cardinals with Ijo up. Possibly expecting a bunt here, but I would imagine Ijo's going to be taking here. And he does. It's up and away. Ball 1.
No, bunt wouldn't be a bad idea here.
Especially with the speed of Kenise Ijo. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off on the right side. First swing we've seen this inning from the Baycats, surprisingly.
First swing this inning, yeah. Ijo saw one he liked, couldn't connect.
One pitch from Iguchi. Driven out to right field, and it's going to get down in front of DeBanning. Plumpton holds up at third base. Ijo with the single. The bases are loaded for the Baycats.
Well, that's as good as a bunt, if not better. Still nobody out in the inning. And the base is juiced for power hitting Adam Odd.
Gonna get a mound visit here for the Hamilton Cardinals. First of the game for them. The entire infield's gonna come in. Starting to see a little bit of stirring up in the Cardinals bullpen, but nobody throwing as of yet.
Well, the discussion here might be about how they're going to play Adam Odd and what to do if the ball is hit in the infield. Do you try to cut off the runner at home, or do you concede the run and go for the double play? It is a 2-run lead here for the Cardinals. Still fairly early in this ball game. We're only in the 5th inning, but it just sort of feels like every run it could be make a difference here in this ball game tonight.
So now there's some throwing in the Cardinals bullpen. Mizugi Akatsuka, another Japanese import player up in the pen, and he is an ambidextrous pitcher, which is something to watch out for should he enter the ball game.
That'll be interesting to see. Well, that was a very long mound visit. Preston Hughes really let Chris Piano take his time out there, and that was something that I was wondering with the limit on mound visits now, if the umpires are going to give them a little bit of extra leeway on some of the lengths of these mound visits, and that one certainly was longer than usual.
It definitely seemed like maybe a strategy to get the bullpen a little bit extra time. Odd grounds it right to first base. The throw from Rempel is in time at the plate. Plumpton is out. Odd reaches on the fielder's choice. That's the first out of the inning.
Well, it looked like Rempel was thinking about going to home before the ball was even in his glove. And a good job to recover from that, and he had a plan in his mind and he stuck to it, and that was to get the out at home. And that may have been exactly what manager Chris Piano drew up when he came out there.
Yeah, he got right in front of it. Both the corner infielders were playing it on the grass. Kind of knocked it down, had enough time to make that throw. Plumpton was sliding in hard at the plate, but Bernardo able to maneuver around him. Here's Ricky Phillips. Popped up and out of play foul.
Well, that was really a huge out. Now a ground ball to the middle of the infield could get the Cardinals off the field here.
Still see the corner infielders playing in, because a double play could come from anywhere at this point. Both middle infielders playing deep. That pitch is high. 1-1. Not only are the middle infielders playing deep, but they're also kind of playing fairly close to the bag at second. I know that Iguchi's can be prone to making some pickoff attempts as Phillips fouls that one back.
Cardinals had the bases loaded in the 4th inning and couldn't score. Frank Garces got Tyler Duncan on a strikeout, and then Luis Bernardo with a pop-up to end the inning.
Baycats had only left 3 on prior to this inning. They have 3 on here. Phillips with a 1-2 count. Up and in, 2-2.
Maybe a purpose pitch there just to keep Phillips honest, back him off the plate a little bit. Let's see what that sets up here for him on the 2-2.
Two pitch is just outside. The count is full. Huge pitch here coming for Takaki Iguchi. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Ryan Rio on deck.
Cardinal dugout was making some noise. They wanted that called third strike.
Pitch swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove of Luis Bernardo. Phillips strikes out, 2 down.
Well, that's exactly what Frank Garces did when he had the bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th inning. He got a strikeout and then a pop-up to end the inning. Let's see if history repeats itself here for the Cardinals. Hamilton fans certainly hope that would be the case here.
Just saw the Cardinals bullpen signal to Chris Piano that Akatsuka is ready. At least with his right arm. He's now pitching with his left. First pitch to Rio, looping curveball is high. So this very well could be the last batter of the outing for Takaki Iguchi, whether he gets out of the inning or not. Ryan Rio, deadly power hitter. Another looping curveball outside.
Yeah, he was taking all the way on both of those pitches. If he gets one he likes, though, he'll swing right out of his shoes. You can be assured of that.
There's always that one pitch in the at-bat. Another sidearm little cutter there. It's low, and it's 3-0 to Ryan Rio with the bases loaded.
3 straight pitches, and Rio was taking all 3 of them all the way.
I wonder if he has the green light here. 3-0 pitch. In there for strike 1.
Ball was just in a little bit. Rio taking it. Let's see if he can get something he can do with something with here.
Gucci back in the count. 3-1 pitch, sidearm throw, driven right at Tyler Duncan. The line drive caught by the Cardinals shortstop. Baycats leave the bases loaded. They still trail the Cardinals by a score of 3-1. We head to the 6th inning on Baycats Baseball on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Top of the 6th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. There, Baycats hosting the Hamilton Cardinals, but they trail by a score of 3-1. Frank Garces back on the mound for his 6th inning of work. At just 70 pitches through 5 innings, he hasn't been relying on the strikeout this game as he usually does. Just 5 through his first 5 innings, but you know what that means? Free fries for all these fans here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Ground ball through the infield at third base. Noah Hall couldn't corral it. The first pitch of the inning is a base hit for Tanner Rempel.
Well, that breaks a streak of 5 straight that Garces had retired, and he got his first 3 up, 3 down inning of the ball game in that 5th inning. Got 3 Cardinals very quickly.
A second hit of the ball game for Rempel. He had one in the 4th inning. Was stranded at third base among 3 left on in that inning for the Cardinals, and he goes. Pitch outside, Plumpton throw down, not in time. Easy stolen base for Tanner Rempel.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency to take Frank Garces out of this ball game. As mentioned, he was rolling pretty good coming out of the 4th and through the 5th inning. Nobody in the Baycat bullpen warming up right now, and he's kept his pitch count fairly low.
1-0 pitch to Keeler Loveridge, fouled out of play. Number 9 hitter is 0 for 2 so far. We know Josh Manlow loves to extend Frank Garces whenever he can. Usually only that one pitcher, one outing a week, and going to make the most of it. That one outside, 2-1.
Has been known to hit 100 in the pitch clock, or the pitch count.
2-1 pitch to Loveridge is driven out to left center field, but Kenice Ejo has a beat on it. It dropped in front of him. He waved off his left fielder, and single for Loveridge, his first hit of the game. Rempel moves up to third.
That ball dropped quick, and they were playing him deep.
Brandon Nicholson.
And between Ejo and Williams, neither of them could come up with it, and that's going to put Brendan Nicholson in a pretty good spot here with 2 on and nobody out in this 6th inning.
It seemed like Ejo thought that ball was going to be deeper than it eventually was, because he was calling off Williams as if he had a beat on it, like he was going to make a catch, and it fell about 30 feet in front of him.
Well, the only good news there for the Baycats, Rempel had to hold up because he wasn't sure either.
Shows bunt, runner goes to second, fake throw by Plumpton. So that's going to be another stolen base for the Cardinals. Leverage over at second.
Tough situation there for Plumpton, not wanting to risk the throw down with the speedy Tanner Rempel at third base. You know, he'd be streaking home as soon as Plumpton unloaded the throw, and with nobody out in the inning, that's just too risky to take. So,
well, you remember what happened when there was a runner on third in the third inning, Brandon Nicholson, as that pitch is right down the middle for strike two. Plumpton saw the runner go. Nicholson was on third. He threw down to third instead of trying to get the runner at second, and it went off of Nicholson's back into left field. That one just low.
This is an aggressive team. They love to run the bases, and they take advantage of the opportunities you give them. In many ways, they do remind me of the Welland Jackfish. And of course, you've got Brendan Nicholson, who brought a lot of that over.
1-2 is popped up on the infield. Towards the right side, Adam on has a beat on it, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Best case scenario right there. Runners have to stay put. Frank Garces gets an out. Still a tough situation, though, with two in scoring position and only one out in the inning. But just back to Hamilton, I see this a much improved team. You're seeing it early on here in this 2024 season, and wouldn't surprise me at all to find them in the top half of the standings when all is said and done.
It's great to have that buy-in from the entire team. When the entire team's playing aggressive, you know, that's when good things happen for your ball club. Getting that same style of play, it builds a winning culture. First pitch is inside to Danny Berg. He got a base hit his last time up, but was also stranded at first base among those with the bases loaded in the fourth inning. Swings and misses there. 1-1. Entire Baycats infield playing in on the edge of the grass. They're going to cut that run down at home if they get a ground ball. 1-1 from Garces is lifted out to left field. It's going to drop foul.
Berg with the right idea. Looking to line one right down that third base side. Just couldn't straighten it out enough.
Brandon Hillier out there in the Baycats bullpen. He's the presumptive reliever for Frank Garces. 1-2 pitch coming to Danny Berg. High and in, 2-2. Josh Manlow wants to extend Frank Garces as much as possible, but he also wants to get Brandon Hillier some work. Hasn't pitched since the home opener. 2-2. In the dirt. Great block there from Tyler Plumpton. He lost the ball. It's in the batter's box. He thought the ball might have been attached to him somehow, but no threat from Tanner Rempel at third base.
Yeah, just lost sight of it there, I guess, but fortunately the ball was in a safe spot. Nothing the runners could do in that situation. Now with the 3-2 count, I mean, first base is open, so Garces doesn't necessarily have to give Danny Berg something juicy to hit here. But you got Tyler Duncan on deck, and you don't want to face him with the bases loaded. You will have to face him one way or another here with just one out in the inning.
So full count, 3-2 pitch here to Danny Berg. And it's low. The bases are loaded again for Tyler Duncan here in the sixth inning. Another threatening situation against Frank Garces.
Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Tyler Duncan.
Great take by Danny Berg.
Number 5, Tyler Duncan.
As he held off, an important walk here to load him up for Duncan.
Keep in mind that fourth inning when the Cardinals stranded the bases loaded, Duncan was the first hitter up once they got the bases loaded, and he struck out. See if Frank Garces can find that same result. First pitch is lined into left field just past the glove of Noah Hall. Malik Williams comes up with it. The throw coming in is not in time. 2-run score. It's a 5-1. Hamilton Cardinals lead on the RBI single by Tyler Duncan. He moves up to second base on the throw.
Well, if Hull catches that ball, it's maybe a double play. And that ball was an absolute sizzler. Hull put the glove up, just couldn't come up with a catch. But Rempel was pretty far off third base. Hull might have been able to make that catch and then double him off. But as luck would have it for the Cardinals, their biggest lead of the night, now up 5-1.
So Josh Matlow out to the mound to have a bit of discussion with Frank Garces. First mound visit of the game for the Baycats. Hillier still warming in the bullpen. There goes Frank Garces, a 5 1/3 innings outing. 5 runs allowed. He'll make way for Brandon Hillier. Pitching change as we take a break here on Baycats Baseball on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Welcome back to the 6th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Cardinals now leading the Baycats 5-1. New pitcher into the ball game is Brandon Hillier for the Baycats in relief of Frank Garces, who leaves after 5 1/3.
And Luis Bernardo will be the 6th Cardinal to bat in this inning, still just 1 out.
On the ground into left field, another base hit for Bernardo. 1 run is in as Berg scores. Duncan held at third, and it's now 6-1 for Hamilton. So that run will be charged to Frank Garces. That's his 6th run against in this ballgame so far. He still has Duncan to account for at third base there. 6 runs allowed so far by Garces, only 3 of them earned. The 3 in the 3rd inning, all unearned.
Well, the Cardinals are hitting the ball well tonight.
First pitch to Dennis DeBanning is just outside.
Hillier would have liked that call awfully close to that outside corner. Did not get it.
Hillier comes set. Runners on the corners. The pitches to DeBanning. That one's popped foul just over our heads.
Baycats experimented with Brandon Hillier in sort of a shutdown role over the last couple of years. Never really worked for him, and we've seen Hillier pitch some of his best innings in situations where the score isn't quite as close.
That one just outside, looked like a borderline call, but it goes in favor of the Cardinals, 2-1. Hall still playing in. Runner goes from first. No throw down. An easy steal there for Luis Bernardo.
Yeah, Plumpton just shaking his head. Nothing he could really do at all on that. And this is just aggressive Cardinals baseball here tonight that we're seeing. If you're a Cardinal fan, you absolutely love it. They're not taking their foot off the gas pedal at all.
So that pitch was called a strike, so now 2-2 here against Dennis DeBanning.
Any extra base that they can take, they will take. And they are looking to add to this 5-run lead.
Infield still playing in on the grass for the Baycats. They're going to try and throw home on a ground ball. 2-2 from Hillier. Just a little tapper to third base. No chance at the plate and under Hull's glove. No chance at DeBanning at first base. Another run scores for the Cardinals. Their 4th of the inning. It's 7-1.
Oh, it's been a tough night for Noah Hull at third base. He gets charged with an error on that. Another run for the Cardinals. And it's a 1st and 3rd situation now for Zach Marriott, the 8th Cardinal to bat in this inning.
Second error of the ball game for Noah Hull. That's the last base runner allowed by Frank Garces to come off the books. So he finishes 7 runs, 4 earned.
How far back would you have to dig to find a run total like that for Frank Garces?
A stolen base. That ball's thrown into center field. Just missed by Carson Burns. Another run scores. The throw into third base, not in time. Aggressive base running yet again by the Cardinals. It is 8-1 in the 6th.
Well, just not the Baycats' night defensively, needless to say. We're still only in the 6th inning, but the Cardinals still pouring it on. 8-1 now, 7-run lead. Only 1 out. 5 Barrie errors tonight after a squeaky clean game yesterday at Christie Pitts in Toronto.
Yeah, the contrast from last night to tonight is incredible. It's now 2-0 to Zach Marriott, who has 2 hits tonight. Grounded out his last time up. Been stranded both times. Cuts and misses there. It's 2-1.
Marriott swinging for the fences. A couple home runs already this season. 2 of his first 4 hits were home runs. He's been a big RBI man for the Cardinals. Looking to continue that here tonight.
That one inside, just barely missed the leg of Marriott.
2 for 3, 1 RBI already this evening, so give him 8 RBIs through 6 games.
On the ground to first base, Macabroda gathers it, and he will not beat Marriott to the bag. DeBanning scores. That's another infield hit on a ground ball to first base for the Cardinals. 9-1.
Well, credit Marriott for some aggressive speed down that first base line to force the first baseman, Nolan Macabroda, to maybe hurry a little bit. Of course, it was a quick play at first. He had to get over there, but just wasn't able to do so.
So a mound visit here for the Baycats. Tyler Plumpton trying to calm down Brandon Hillier a little bit here. Double play is in order now with just a runner on first.
I've noticed a couple times that Baycats defensively, they seem to be a little distracted by the base runner situation out there as well.
Evan Souls warming in the Baycats bullpen as the first pitch comes from Hillier. It's in the dirt, goes back to the screen. Marriott over to second base. A wild pitch there from Hillier.
Well, I don't think any team has batted around on the Baycats this season, but the Cardinals have done it here in this 6th inning.
Do you consider batting around to be 9 or 10?
I've always thought of it as 9.
Yeah, me too.
This is the 9th batter, so. Have you heard some announcers refer to it as 10?
There's always an argument of people saying that you don't bat around until you get back to whoever led off the inning.
Okay. And that's when you have to overlap your scorebook.
Exactly.
It happened to the Baycats a couple times last season, but first time this year, I'm pretty sure.
I would tend to agree with you there. 1-1 here to Renault is in the dirt.
So this 6th inning will not be on our top 10 highlight show at the end of the year.
I'll tell you what, I was really hoping that Carson Burns, if he sang the national anthem, that would be a top 10 moment of the season.
Maybe the fact that he didn't sing the national anthem has brought on this situation here tonight. And we'll have him sing the anthem, and that'll rectify everything.
There you go. It's now 3-1 on Lane Renault as that last pitch in the dirt. Marriott takes his lead from second base. No one holding him. Hillier taking his time. Here's the 3-1. Grounded foul. It's full count.
We'll call it the curse of the anthem failure.
Not only that, Burns had an error in this game as well, so.
Well, 1 of 5. He has not been the only one. There is no one Baycat that we can pin this on tonight, that's for sure.
Ground ball to third. Hull can't make the play. It goes under his glove. The throw over to third. Hillier covering. A nice backup play. They get the out. Marriott thrown out at third. So take the error off the board there for Noah Hull. He's definitely happy to see great backup play by Carson Burns and Brennan Hillier there.
What a job by those two recovering, and the Cardinals, who have been going full throttle in this ball game and specifically this 6th inning. A little too aggressive there and they get burned, but still just 2 out in the inning. Why not? You may as well force Barrie to do, make every throw and every play possible here the way that things have unraveled.
So back to Tanner Rempel, who led off this inning with a base hit and eventually scored after stealing a base. I think the thing with Noah Hull is that all these errors have all been coming on balls he's had to charge, and he just can't get the glove down. 0-1. In there for strike 2.
Well, it's early in the season. Hull is a rookie, and this is the time of year where manager Josh Matlow is still tinkering with positions defensively and trying to figure out where everybody's going to fit in.
0-2 pitch from Hillier, lined right to Hull, and it goes through his glove. Can't make the catch, and that's another error for Noah Hull. This is unprecedented poor defensive showing from him.
Well, hard to watch. Hull will definitely want to forget about this game as quickly as possible. And one of those situations where you just got to try to keep your head in the game.
First pitch to Keeler Loveridge is in there for a strike. One pitch swung on and missed. Nice cut there from Loveridge, but great movement on that pitch there from Hillier.
Yeah, 2 really good pitches by Hillier back to back here. Let's see if he can finish off the number 9 hitter.
On the ground, over to third base. Hull does make this play. The throw on to first will end the inning. So end that inning on a high note defensively. A little bit there for Noah Hull as we head to the bottom half of the 6th. 6 runs for the Cardinals in this 6th inning. We head over to the bottom half. You're watching Baycats baseball on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
We go to the sixth inning, bottom of the inning, brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, making moving stress-free for over 35 years. With Julius Hern, I'm Ben Davy. Sam McCoy, our media coordinator. Brian Backland, our producer. Dylan Quinn, social media. Kendra Doyle, our in-game host. Rob Daniels on PA. Bob Hurley, our photographer. Gary Mason, our stats guy. Not here tonight. We miss Gary. Gary off this evening. And Julius Hern here to call the bottom of the sixth.
Thank you, Ben. We are back in the sixth inning, and after a 6-run sixth at the top half for the Cardinals, the Baycats have some climbing back to do, and they'll do it against Mizuki Akatsuka in relief of Takaki Iguchi, and this guy is a spectacle, an ambidextrous pitcher. He's pitching right-handed here to Malik Williams. Saw him in warm-ups go between arms. He has one of those kind of those special gloves you can use on both hands. It's pretty cool. 1-0 to Malik Williams. Kind of a delayed start to his push-off there on the mound. It's now 2-0.
I mentioned Gary Mason, our official scorer, is off tonight, and when Gary looks at the sixth inning, he'll say, thank goodness I was off that evening. Have fun with that, everybody.
11 batters for the Cardinals in the top half. Lots of work to do for the Baycats. 2-0 pitch to Williams is in there for strike one.
Little Nestor Cortez there with that delayed leg kick, and not quite as fancy as Nestor, but nasty Nestor they call him. He's loves throwing off the timing of the batters.
Taking his time for sure. 2-1. That one's lined into center field, and it will be caught by Brandon Nicholson. Great contact there for Malik Williams, but hard hit ball doesn't do him anything. It's 1 out.
The first baseman, number 20, Nolan Macabroda.
With the defensive struggles some of these players have had tonight, Nola Macabroda at first, Noah Hall at third, do you think Josh Matlow puts them back in those positions again soon to help boost their confidence a little bit? Or do you think this is sort of one of those lessons learned and changes made accordingly?
I think that for the rest of this game, I would keep them in because you're already down by 8, but the next game on Saturday, you're probably going to see a different defensive alignment for the Baycats. 1-0 to Macabroda, who's seeing Akatsuka pitch right-handed instead of left-handed.
Well, Noah Hull, a guy who at third base, if it doesn't work out for him there, you know there are other defensive positions where he will get his opportunities. So,
plenty of experience all around the field at the college level, Division II at University of Mary. Caught a lot, played a lot of left field in his time there, but also can play for the first base. As Macabroda fouls that one out of play. Yeah, Hall's a versatile guy, and you can see him on deck. He's definitely frustrated with how his night has gone so far. Offensively, he's 0 for 2. Defensively, he's made 3 errors. But Matlow still has confidence in him, obviously. He's on deck. awaiting the result of Macabro's at bat, and that ball is inside. It's now 3-1.
The reason I ask is because some managers have the philosophy, and I've seen it at the big league level, where if a player has a really tough night, is really struggling out there, maybe a pitcher or a position player, the manager will put him right back in that same situation the next day, rather than mess with his confidence or make any drastic changes or anything. And the thinking is just to have the player put it behind them, clean slate, start over again.
I think the difference with the IBL and Major League Baseball in that instance, as Macabroda takes it low, and he reaches on a walk. His second walk of the game. He's reached all 3 times he's made a plate appearance. Anyway, I was saying that the difference between the IBL and Major League Baseball is that Major League Baseball, you're pretty much playing every day, whereas in the IBL, yes, the Baycats play on Saturday, but let's say this happened on a Tuesday. You might not be playing again until the following Saturday. So you don't really have that opportunity to bounce back the very next day.
Yeah, 162 games, you certainly have the luxury of long stretches of time for players to sort of make improvements and adjustments at a certain position, but short schedule like the IBL, a little bit different.
First pitch to Hull is in there for strike 1.
You want to get everybody in the right spot where they're comfortable and set up to succeed as early in the season as possible.
Akatsuka still pitching right-handed to the lefty Hull. As he pops it up, and it's going to get out of play, foul behind the Cardinals dugout.
So the last ambidextrous pitcher in Major League Baseball, I believe, was Pat Venditti. Was that his name?
I believe so, and he was the first because of the now it's called the Venditti rule.
Venditti rule,
that
yes.
States that the pitcher has to state which arm he's throwing with before each at bat. Kind of how that all works. I remember there being one other one in the minors, but I don't think he made it to the majors. This was after Venditti's time in the majors, obviously. Fouled again out of play, same spot on the Cardinals dugout on the left field line.
So the Venditti rule was that the pitcher declares first which arm he's throwing with.
Correct.
And the batter would get the final decision, I guess,
yes.
Obviously, as far as which side of the plate to hit from. I mean, it has to be one or the other, right? Otherwise, we'd be here all day.
Exactly.
And I think they were starting to have some situations like those.
Well, I remember it being, I would imagine when Venditti came into minor league baseball, that was probably how that interaction went. Before they actually started to, put pen to paper and say, this is how this has to be done.
You could probably pull up some footage.
Absolutely.
Minor league games, and I bet you they ran into that situation an awful lot.
So 1-2 here to Hall. Akatsuka taking his time. That looping curveball is high and away. It's 2-2.
The other really unique pitcher that I just absolutely loved watching as a kid was Jim Abbott.
Yes.
Who was born with one hand and would make a transfer with his glove after releasing the ball so that he would be in a proper fielding position.
And remarkably, he threw a no-hitter.
That's right, with the New York Yankees.
Yes.
Remember that?
Caught in a miss from Hall. He strikes out. 0 for 3 on the ball game so far, and that brings up Tyler Plumpton. Oh, it's going to be James Anderson pinch hitting for Plumpton.
James Anderson.
Well, Anderson, a guy who can handle catching duties, so he'll take over for Tyler Plumpton in that number 8 spot in the order, and presumably put the catcher's gear on for the top of the 7th.
Akatsuka still pitching right-handed. He was warming up more so his right than his left. Anderson takes first pitch strike.
9-1 ball game, and we're still technically in the middle innings here, and it's always frustrating for players and fans when the score's lopsided and there's still more than 3 innings to go here, but good test of this team's character, see how much fight they've got left in them, and how hard they're going to battle here to make the score respectable, if not mount a comeback.
Well, the contrast from last night, we saw the Baycats won 11-3 at Christie Pitts against the Maple Leafs last night. Very good defensive game from the Baycats, and now it's just been kind of the opposite. Baycats with 6 errors on the night, and now they're the ones down by 8 runs. Anderson cuts and misses. He strikes out. Macabroda left on first as we head to the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the call for you on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Baycats in inning number 6, no.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
To the top of the 7th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Thank you for joining us on this chilly Thursday night here at the ballpark. Baycats with their biggest deficit of the season, down by 8 runs, 9-1 Hamilton, as we go to the top of the 7th and some defensive changes for Barrie.
Yeah, so after we saw James Anderson pinch hit for Tyler Plumpton, he's the man behind the dish now. Noah Hull has been taken out of the game. Zach Orchard is in his spot in the lineup. He's at second base. That's going to move Adam Odd over to third base. And in for Malik Williams is Brad McQuinn, who's in left field.
Preston Hughes letting the Cardinals dugout know that that is not a mound visit. It was simply to communicate signals. James Anderson out to talk with Brandon Hillier and make sure everything is in place for this 7th inning. To first, and that ball is bobbled, picked up, thrown to Hillier, covering, in time for the out. A great recovery by Nolan Macabroda, and Hillier right there for the throw.
That was a very athletic play, both from Macabroda and from Hillier. Hillier kind of had to reach behind him and keep his foot on the bag, while Macabroda, he was able to knock the ball down on the ground ball. You had to kind of sidearm it, a little flip to Hillier, and great wherewithal of Hillier to keep his foot on the bag there.
Yeah, put a star by that play for both of those guys, Macabroda and Hillier, on a night where Macabroda has had his own challenges at first base. Looking like an all-pro there on that one. So this is Danny Berg, the left fielder. Berg has reached base 3 times in his 4 plate appearances.
I think it also just goes to show how hard the Cardinals are making contact, especially how Frank Garces earlier, because Garces has pretty good velocity, but they're just barreling those balls up and hard contact, and they're getting in front of the baseball defensively, just can't corral it.
Well, I noticed they were hitting a lot of hard, deep balls in BP this afternoon, and normally I don't put a whole lot in that. It's batting practice, right? But it seemed like a lot of balls were really hit hard and traveling far.
And not to mention their aggressive base running all game has kind of put the mental tax on the Baycats defensively. We've seen, you mentioned Nolan Macabroda, kind of his defensive struggles today. He doesn't have an error today, But there's been some instances where like he's kind of far off first base. He doesn't really have a play anywhere. It's happened multiple times.
Pitch from Hillier, and it's lifted to the left side. McQuinn has a long way to go, and it's well out of his reach. Brad McQuinn made an outstanding catch. I'm sure you saw it. You were there.
Incredible.
Last night at Christie Pitts in Toronto, and we didn't get a really good look at it. The camera stayed with it, but you could just get a sense from what the announcers were saying and Thomas West on the call, along with the crowd's reaction, that was a highlight reel catch in left field.
Incredible catch, and that also not the only time he's done that this year. I remember in Welland he made a diving catch on a sinking line drive in left field.
Fastball misses high, and the count is ball 4, so it's a base on balls. And another base runner for the Cardinals. They've only gone 3 up, 3 down once tonight. That was in the 5th inning, where Frank Garces was starting to find his groove. He had retired 5 in a row. That all unraveled on Frank in the 6th inning.
That's Berg's 3rd walk of the game. He's reached 4 times. He's 1 for 2. He had a single in the 4th, but every time he's walked, he's scored.
Foul back to the screen.
Mentioned Brad McQuinn. I think what makes that catch yesterday even more impressive was that he was kind of recovering from a hip flexor injury that kind of kept him out of the lineup the previous couple games.
I mean, there's not a lot of foul territory down those lines at Christie Pitts either. And you're running with a full head of steam right towards that chain link fence. And
especially with the bullpens in play.
That's another great point. I guess one of the few IBL ballparks that have the bullpens on the in-play side of the wall, right?
I mentioned he made a spectacular catch in Welland as well. That's another park that has bullpens in play, but the catch he made was in fair territory.
To left field. Hit pretty deep. McQuinn backpedaling under it, makes the catch. 2 out in the inning. And this is Luis Bernardo.
Catcher number 14, Luis Bernardo.
Yeah, Bernardo singled and scored in the big 6th inning for the Cardinals. And that's his only hit of the ball game, but that was probably his best at bat of the game against Frank Garces.
Called strike.
He previously fell victim twice to him by a strikeout.
Runner leads. That's Berg at first. Hillier deals. Fly ball to right field. Ricky Phillips back. Under it and takes it for the out. Cardinals strand a runner in the top of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Vintage Throne Stadium with Hamilton leading by 8. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Cardinals.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
I'm Chrissy Fentz from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Just after the 7th inning stretch, the Baycats still trying to claw back. They're down 9-1 against the Hamilton Cardinals. The 7th inning is brought to you by Psycho Solutions, full automotive service from headlight to tailpipe.
Third pitcher of the night for the Cardinals will be Corey Connor.
They're hard-throwing righty out of the Cardinals bullpen. We saw Mizuki Akatsuka only go 1 inning, and he was pitching right-handed that whole time. As an ambidextrous pitcher, he faced a couple left-handed hitters from the Baycats lineup and decided not to change over.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping we might see a little bit of that switch pitching on the mound tonight. Didn't happen, but certainly he knew what he needed to do in that inning and was able to do what he needed. So it's a 9-1 game. And here come the Baycats in the bottom of the 7th.
Evan Souls is warming in the Baycats bullpen, so I'd imagine that he's next up for the Baycats on the mound as we get through this inning and into the 8th. But first it's Carson Burns.
Waggles the bat, waits, first pitch, and he's swinging, and he fouls it over to the Hamilton bullpen and out of play.
Burns walked his last time up and was stranded at third base, and that was that inning where the Baycats stranded, the bases loaded.
Kinesi Joe on deck. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off, same spot. And a couple of kids down there waiting for a foul ball, and it was in the trees, and could hear them all the way up here go, ah.
Crazy that the Baycats stranded the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th, and then it was the top of the 6th where the Cardinals exploded.
Yeah, both teams have had innings where they left the bases loaded and couldn't score, but the Cardinals have capitalized elsewhere, and that's the difference in the game. Called strike 3. Preston Hughes rings him up, and down goes Burns.
The Baycats could have taken the lead with 1 swing in that inning, and instead now they're down by 8.
Preston Hughes has called a good game behind the plate tonight, as is typically the case. Of course, in Major League news, we learned that Angel Hernandez has retired from umpiring. And
I think baseball fans everywhere have a sigh of relief when they heard that news.
I was kind of hoping we might see him in the IBL now because
I was saying to some friends yesterday that, well, he retired from Major League Baseball.
He's got to do something with the rest of his life.
Exactly.
Lifted high and foul. Now, have we had an umpire in the IBL that has ever umped a Major League game? That's an interesting question. Somebody out there knows the answer to that. I'm sure it'll be on the message boards if it's ever happened. But that would be interesting to know.
That would be very interesting.
Because we see Major League ball players play in the IBL. Yes. Doesn't happen often, but
Frank Garces.
Every year there are a few. To short. And there's 2 out in the inning. So has there ever been an IBL umpire that has umped a Major League game? That is my question.
I would definitely like to know that because...
And I will check the message boards for the answer to that question tonight.
If I had to guess, the answer is yes, but it wouldn't have been like recently.
Not recently that I can think of, and my first games were in 2005. I was away from the IBL for a period of time, but no names that I can recall. There's a strike call to Adam Odd. Odd now the third baseman, replacing Noah Hull. After starting the game at second, another one of those versatile players that can be moved around. So you don't think it would be fun to have Angel Hernandez in this league?
That'd be awesome. I'm not gonna.
I'm putting it out there right now.
Hold on, let me explain myself here, though. As
first base, easy play for the pitcher as he sprints across the bag. You'll have to finish it for us in the 8th.
At the top of the 8th.
And I will definitely ask you about it when we return. 9-1 Hamilton here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We're talking about anything and everything tonight. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Top of the 8th inning, Baycats down by 8. New pitcher for Barrie. Evan Souls gets the ball tonight.
Yeah, Evan Souls back out in relief again. Last year we kind of saw him flirt around with the starting rotation a little bit. This year I think he's kind of being predominantly used as more of a long reliever. He's here in the 8th inning. I would imagine that he's the guy to go the rest of the way for the Baycats. He's pitched fairly well this year. He's had a couple blips in his first couple outings, but a guy that Josh Matlow is very confident in, especially in the kind of role he has him in here.
So a low-pressure situation, down by 8, but the Cardinals have been swinging the bats fast and furious here tonight. Dennis Day-Banning, Zach Marriott, Lane Renault due up for Hamilton here in the 8th inning. So our question tonight, given this lopsided score, is would you like to see Angel Hernandez in the IBL? And I said, sure, why not?
I said yes as well, and I said as bad of an umpire as he was in Major League Baseball, and, you know, statistically, I will say not the worst umpire, but just the...
Apparently he wasn't. Yeah. It's hard to believe.
But it's just the moments everything happened in, right? I just think it'd be an incredible story, and just as a human interest story, it'd be cool to see kind of where that journey would come from. It's like, yeah, I'll go from Major League Baseball over to the IBL.
That'd be a great documentary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially because, he's from Cuba, right? So he kind of had to leave Cuba to go to the United States to umpire Major League Baseball.
And everything that I have heard about Angel Hernandez, and I've never even seen an interview with him or anything, but anyone that has spoken about him that knows him has said that he is just the most decent human being.
I've heard that as
well. That you'll find anywhere. Second base, throw over, and it's just in time for the out. The one down here in the 8th inning.
That's Zach Orchard over there at second base. He came in Noah Hull's spot in the lineup, taking over at second base, moving on to third. That was his first chance of the game.
So this is Zach Marriott. And a lot of other umpires around Major League Baseball were good friends with Angel as well. So we'll never know the full story as far as what went down, as far as him being asked to leave or how that conversation might have gone down.
It's just weird, the timing, right? Like in the middle of the Major League Baseball season, we're not even 60 games in. Just odd timing. And he said he wanted to spend more time with his family, which is definitely understandable. He's been umpiring since 1991 in the majors.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Hernandez, if you want to come to the IBL, and so I'll put up room and board. I got a spare room at my place. I'll make sure everything is well labeled. Okay, I'll stop. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Souls. And that got a piece of Marriott, and he tosses the bat and jogs to first base. First hit batter of the ball game.
That pitch definitely looked like it got away from Souls. It had a lot of movement running inside, kind of off speed a little bit. And if I was in the batter's box, it would have fooled me a little bit because it that late break inside definitely was the reason that caught Mary out there.
Lane Renault tonight is 0 for 4. Reached on an error, but fielder's choice, a strikeout and a flyout. This crowd has thinned out considerably on this Thursday night here, this chilly evening at Vintage Throne Stadium, an 8-run ball game. Call strike from Evan Souls, and it's 0-2.
Should expect a big crowd on Saturday afternoon, though, for a couple reasons. It's another Junior Baycats day. We saw how great it was on Saturday against the Red Sox, plus the Baycats with a win there. But also, Chatham-Kent Barnstormers making their first trip to Barrie ever.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see them on the field, and a lot of players that we've never seen in the IBL before. So that team has been a pretty exciting story to follow here in these.
They're off to a good start as well, so should be a close game.
1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch from Evan Souls, and he gets it over for a called strike.
That was a great pitch from Soul, breaking action. That looked like the exact same pitch that kind of got away from him and hit Marriott, but he kind of kept that one in the zone. His release point was a little bit sooner than it was in the previous at-bat. Really fooled Lane Renault there. Struck him out looking. Strikeout brought to you by IMP North.
And Tanner Rempel, who has reached base safely twice tonight. Bats here on the top of the 8th inning. Souls with the fastball, it's a strike. Yeah, the weather, I think, is going to look pretty good for the weekend as well. Tomorrow looks gorgeous, and I think Saturday's not too bad. So hopefully you can join us Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Junior Baycats Day. High fly ball, right field. Ricky Phillips makes the catch, and that will do it for Hamilton in the 8th. 9-1 Cardinals. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats still with plenty of work to do to get back in this one. It's 9-1 Cardinals. And this 8th inning is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Baycats with just 3 hits in this ball game. Their last hit all the way back in the 5th inning. Canisijo with a single, and the Baycats had the bases loaded in that inning, couldn't score. And they're only running this game coming in the 2nd. Ricky Phillips 0 for 3 tonight.
just 3 hits on the game for the team. Macabroda had a double that eventually scored a run in the 2nd inning. Only 2 since then. You mentioned the last one by Ejo in the 5th.
Right field and over near the Barrie bullpen. And in the bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. Hard to believe this is the same team that scored 11 runs against Toronto last night.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple times tonight, just the contrast of last night to tonight, just 24 hours removed from a great win last night. Not the same story at all.
You're going to have a night like this at some point during the season. May as well get it out of the way early. This one drops into center field. It's a base hit in front of Brandon Nicholson. So there we go. We just mentioned the drought of offense, and Ricky Phillips leads off the inning with a base hit.
Hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
Ryan Rio, 0 for 3 tonight. Rio took several pitches early in his last at bat, but 8-run game now. I got a feeling if he sees one he likes, he's going to go for it. Takes the first one outside, ball 1.
Well, in his last at bat, he was up with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, and he took 3 straight balls. Had a 3-0 count, eventually lined out to short to end the inning.
Yeah, it was a weak line drive. It almost looked like Rio was maybe trying to take the walk to force the runner in. And then he chased one and couldn't get much on it. Okay, did I really just see a mosquito? Single-digit temperatures. We're not supposed to be having mosquitoes on a night like tonight. 2 balls and a strike to Rio.
Phillips isn't being held on at first, so he might have a go-ahead here, and he does.
You called it. Pitch is outside, no throw down. 8-run game, and Corey Connor is thinking about one person, and that's the man at the plate, Ryan Rio. So Phillips takes advantage of that. Rio will try to drive him in. Here's the 3-1, and it's up the middle. Picked up by the shortstop, Tyler Duncan, over to first. Easy play for the out. Phillips to third.
Pitch hitting for the Baycats, number 47, Brad McQuinn.
Brad McQuinn came into the game to take over left field from Malik Williams. This is his first plate appearance of the night.
He's only had 2 hits in the year, but he's put together some nice at-bats in his starts earlier in the year. I mentioned earlier he was kind of suffering from like a hip flexor, not a major injury at all, but some bruising, something he'd been nagging him over a few games on the road, and came back to the lineup last night. Didn't start, but came in as a defensive replacement. We mentioned that great catch he made in left field at Christie Pitts.
1-1 the count to McQuinn. Got those feet wide open in the batter's box. Waggles the bat. Here's the pitch from Connor. And it's hit down the third base side. Andrew White with the grab. Baycat third base coach. 1-2 the count. A lot of cups of coffee being sold down at that concession stand tonight. A couple right in front of us there. Or maybe it's hot chocolate. Either sound pretty good right now.
I could go for a hot chocolate right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Connor right at him with a fastball. McQuinn down swinging.
The first baseman, number 20, Nolan Macabroda.
Well, one guy who's done his part offensively is this guy, Nolan Macabroda. Double and 2 walks. He's reached base all 3 plate appearances tonight. He'll try to drive one in for the Baycats with 2 down here in this 8th inning. Here's the pitch. And that one just missed.
That was a great pitch, though. Definitely one that you could definitely use in like a 2-strike count to get someone to chase, and there was a lot of movement on it.
Yeah, it looked like a strike. Connor thought so as well. He'll try again.
Great thing about being up by the margin that they are, Hamilton, is that their pitching staff, especially the guys in the bullpen, are not necessarily throwing every day. Kind of experiment a little bit more. Use some different sequencing.
This is the time to do it. 2-0 on the way to Nolan Macabrota. Here it comes. Fouls it back to the screen.
No movement in either bullpen for either team, so looks like Connor and Souls will be the pitchers to take us through the rest of this game.
Frank Garces, the starter tonight for the Baycats. Takaki Iguchi for the Cardinals. There's a swing and a miss, and the count now 2-2.
And Garces went 5 1/3, just 86 pitches, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 9 hits. He allowed 7 runs, 4 of them earned.
It looked like Garces found a little bit of a rhythm coming out of the 4th inning, but some errors and defensive miscues in that 6th inning just led to this score unraveling tonight. This one to second, and the play to first in time for the out. That'll do it for the Baycats. They strand another runner. We've played 8. It's 9-1 Cardinals on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
To the 9th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Cardinals back up to the plate, up by 8. We've got a pinch hitter here for Hamilton.
Brendan Daly.
Brendan Daly bats in the number 9 spot for Keeler Loveridge.
Evan Souls back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, and like I mentioned in the last half inning, no activity in either bullpen. So wouldn't expect a pitching change unless something goes wildly wrong here for Souls.
First pitch, it's a fastball for a strike. Baycats used just one reliever last night in Toronto. It was reliever Ryan Lacasse, and what a job he did in relief of Cesar Rosado.
His first outing in the IBL in his career and a 4-inning save.
4 shutout innings, only 1 hit off of him. Breaking ball for a strike, and down on 3 pitches goes Daly.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by a guy like Ryan Lacasse, and
Center fielder number
Pitches
4.
at Laurentian
Brandon
University at the
Nicholson.
OUA club varsity level, and he's not just a pitcher, he's also a pretty good two-way player. He can hit a little bit, but I think his time in the IBL is going to be spent more so on the mound.
First pitch swinging is Brandon Nicholson. That'll stay in the infield. And the catch is made by the shortstop, Carson Burns, 2 down.
Left fielder number 3, Danny Berg.
I think Baycat fans might do a double take when Ryan Lacasse takes the mound here at Vintage Throne Stadium, because we had a Marcel Lacasse who played third base here for many years, but no relation that I'm aware of between those two. So it will be a little weird seeing a Lacasse on the mound, but two completely different players from different families.
Both French backgrounds, though, but I think Lacasse is from further east. I know Ryan Lacasse is from the Sudbury area. So
Danny Berg for the Cardinals takes a pitch, and it misses. Souls rocks into the windup. 2-0 pitch on the way. Fouled away. So quiet here at the ballpark. I think all of the fans are listening to us right now.
I was just about to say.
Not normal.
We're the. Are we the show?
These are the diehards that are here. I think they can hear us down in the bullpens probably. It's so quiet. I heard that at Old Tiger Stadium in Detroit, players used to say that they could hear Ernie Harwell calling the game. And it wasn't because the stadium was so quiet. It was because of the position of the broadcast booth. Swing and a foul tip.
Did you ever go to Old Tiger Stadium?
I did. I was at, I think, the 9th last game played there.
Wow.
And it was against the Jays. And scooped up some dirt after the game. We leaned over the fence and had to get my nostalgia. That one through into center field, base hit. The 2-out single for Berg. But the broadcast booth at Tiger Stadium kind of like almost hung over home plate. Like it came out, if you look at any of the old pictures,
It was like a big awning.
there was like a catwalk that took you to it, and it wasn't like up high where the broadcast booths are now. And the players said that often they could hear Ernie calling the game.
That's awesome.
It really is neat.
Yeah, I've always heard that Old Tiger Stadium was definitely a fan favorite, a player favorite, a media favorite.
I mean, it wasn't a nice ballpark. It was run down, like, at least when I saw it, it was run down, dingy, rusty, falling apart.
But in its heyday, for sure.
But the proximity to the field that the fans had was unlike any other ballpark I've seen. And a lot of history. This one is rocked to right field. High, deep, and gone. That might have caught a piece of the scoreboard on the way by. 2-run homer. Cardinals up by 9.
And that's exactly what I think the Cardinals were waiting for. They hadn't really got the production they expect from Tyler Duncan, the the reigning IBL MVP. He had 2 singles early in this game, but his power is really where he makes his name known. And right there, he showed us why he is the reigning IBL MVP.
Yeah, he had 16 homers last season. That was more than double anybody else on the Cardinals. And that was his first home run of 2024.
Number 14, Luis Bernardo.
First of many, I am sure. So Duncan makes it 11-1. And here's Luis Bernardo.
Baycats score 11 last night. They've given up 11 tonight.
How about that? I mean, you look at it, it's almost a tale of... It's a mirror image. You put it perfectly. I mean, if Barrie scores 2 in the bottom of the ninth, that'll
be wild.
That'll be ultimate irony. This one to center field. It's a base hit, and the Cardinals aren't done yet.
And it's 24 hours removed from last night's game. So
Toronto made how many errors last night? 4 or 5? I mean, Barrie's got 6 tonight, so...
I don't think they made that many, but it was definitely the Baycats offense definitely carried them through that game. The 3 home runs and just some timely base hits.
Barrie had 11 runs on 11 hits last night. 15 hits for the Cardinals here this evening.
And Barrie with just 4 tonight, with 1 run to show for it, and that run wasn't even earned to Takaki Iguchi.
Fouled over the screen. Dennis Day Banning. Reached base twice tonight, once on an error. Evan Souls with the 0-1. And that just missed.
Yeah, he had a booming double in the third inning. And he eventually scored.
Called strike. 1-2. Well, this is a night where you just got to put the score out of mind as quickly as possible and get back to the drawing board and get ready for Chatham-Kent here on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about, kind of the time of the week this game is for Barrie. It's Thursday, only one day in between their next crack at it on Saturday against Chatham-Kent.
We can tell you it'll be much warmer on Saturday afternoon.
I hope so.
if there's any appeal in that. Called strike. Day Banning taking all the way, and that will do it. So the Cardinals put up 11 tonight, and the Baycats with a half an inning to go, trailing by 10. 11-1 Cardinals. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Yeah, I saw him. He was walking around. Okay, this is still Connor, right?
Last chance for the Baycats in the bottom of the ninth. They are down 11-1. This ninth inning, again, is brought to you by United Way of Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Zachary Orchard in what I believe is his first home plate appearance. And he's batting in the number 7 spot where Noah Hull started today. James Anderson on deck. Carson Burns in the number 9 spot. Corey Connor out for another inning of work for the Cardinals.
Not to be mistaken with Corey Connors, the Canadian golfer. Canadian Open this weekend.
Yeah, you watch, and you play golf too, don't you?
I play a bit of golf.
Yeah.
I watch a bit of golf.
Yeah.
It's definitely become one of my favorite sports, I will say.
Called strike, and it's 1-2. Bernardo sets up outside, and it's a swing and a miss by Orchard. Great pitch by Connor. These Cardinals uniforms, the red is interesting. It's not St. Louis Cardinal red. It almost looks Baltimore Oriole-ish. kind of an orangish red.
Yeah, that might be just from the glare from the lights as well. But it's like I was seeing earlier when the players were in the shade when the sun was out, it was kind of hard to see some of the names and numbers.
It's a good look, though. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too.
The hammer across the front of the jersey. Oh, and 1 the count. James Anderson into the game for Tyler Plumpton tonight. Inside.
I was at the game last Friday against the Baycats, and it was country night at Bernie Arbour Memorial Stadium, and really good turnout actually. They put on a lot of good, kind of mid-inning activities and activations for the fans.
Called strike on the outside corner, 1 and 2. Baycats were in Welland for the championship ring ceremony this year, and there was a post-game fireworks. I think that was a Victoria Day weekend.
It was the Saturday of that weekend, and it's funny that those fireworks took forever.
Did you stick around for those?
I stuck around.
Wow.
I was at the game, and they were like, I was surprised how long the fireworks went. It was like at least 10 minutes, which is wild.
A 10-minute fireworks show?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I went up to Wasaga Beach for the fireworks, and those were at least 10 minutes. Yeah. Swing and a miss. 2 down here in the 9th.
And they were hyping them up all game, too. They were like, hey, fans, stick around for the fireworks show. They had like a countdown clock on their video board.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm sure everybody was in a celebratory mood.
For sure.
And they won that game as well. Barrie's only loss of the season until tonight. And boy, talk about crashing back to reality. 11-1 Hamilton. Pitch to Burns. High and away. Burns takes another pitch, 2-0. If you missed it, Carson Burns was scheduled to sing the national anthem tonight, unable to do so due to a microphone issue, and the crowd helped him out.
Would it be fitting if the game started and ended with him?
Started and ended with Carson Burns. Wouldn't that be something? No, Burns is going to try not to let that happen. 2-1 the count.
He's put some good swings on the ball, but he just hasn't had the offensive outcomes he'd like. He walked earlier in this game, but other than that, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Connor deals the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Connor to Burns. And a
great take.
At bat continues. I'll say this about Preston Hughes. The strike zone has not expanded with the score. He's stuck to his strike zone all game.
Great take there from Carson Burns.
A lot of times in a 10-run game, that strike zone will get a little bigger in the late innings. But Burns swings and misses, and that will do it. So, tough night for the Baycats. The Cardinals with a big win, and they'll try to take that momentum with them home tomorrow to face the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned the kind of the mirror image, as we said last inning, about last night to tonight. The incredible offensive performance against the Maple Leafs last night for Barrie, but kind of turns back on them at 11 runs allowed for the Baycats as opposed to last night. So they'll be back at it. Another crack on Saturday. They'll host the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers for the very first time here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Well, every season has its highs and its lows, and tonight was certainly the latter. But I'm sure these Baycats are going to come back fighting with some determination to get things back on track here on Saturday afternoon. We hope you can join us here at the ballpark. If not, Julius and I will have the call for you, as always, on Rogers TV in Barrie and Baycats TV on YouTube. Final tonight, Cardinals 11, Baycats 1. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.